clarify the remarks that were attributed to the...
I'm not going to get into the religious controversy that you've answered at least 800 times. I do want to ask you, though, do you think that this statement or statements of that type, are you testing your popularity?
No, there was no, I wasn't thinking of anything else but what I was saying to this person who was talking to me at the time. And reactions or anybody's reaction, that you just can't, I wasn't thinking of two things at once. I was just talking to her in my own home, you know, so I wasn't thinking of anything else.
Will you be a little more careful in your answers? I know that all of you are very frank in your answers.
We're as frank as we can be, you know, we don't like double talking. So sometimes it offends people, and sometimes you've got to sort of double back and retrace your steps to explain exactly what you mean, but you still mean the same thing, you know. Only you've got to, some people need it phrasing in political language, you know.
I don't know, honest. People, you have 10 minutes, so don't push. What I'm going to suggest in a moment is that all the photographers at the very front move out and let the ones behind them move in. So a couple more minutes for the people at the very front, and then please will you change over.
Some of the newspapers, the press here, said that concerning the remark that you made comparing the relative popularity of the Beatles with Jesus Christ, and that the Beatles were more popular. This created quite a controversy and a furor in this country, as you are obviously aware.
Do you know that, John? You created it.
Now, would you clarify the remark?
Well, I've clarified it about 800 times, you know. I could have said TV or something else, you know, and that's as clear as it can be. I just used Beatles because I know about them a bit more than TV. I could have said any number of things. Wouldn't have got as much publicity, though.
My question is directed at...
Sensible people took it for what it was, and it was only the bigots that took it up and thought it was, you know, on their side. They thought, haha, here's something to get them for. But when they read it, they saw that, you know, there was nothing wrong with it, really. It's just that they thought that by us saying, by John saying that we were more popular than Jesus, they thought, you know, he's bound to be arrogant. Did you see the fellow on telly last night? He said it. Tonight Show.
I'd just like to simplify things a little by suggesting that
Can you walk into a theater to see a movie by yourself?
If you go and the lights are down, you can go in.
We can do that in England. It's easier in England than it is here. And it's mainly because we know England better.
It'd also be easier to do it if we went on tour, you know. Because we're on tour, people know where we are, and that's why we have a crowd.
Pa? Pieces and changing them around to suit their styles.
Depends how they do it, you know.
The thing is, they don't steal it.
No, I know that.
Well, you just said they did.
Well, some... Okay.
No, I mean, you know, it's once we've done a song and it's published, anyone can do it. So, you know, whether we like it or not depends on whether they've done it to our taste. You know,
Well, then let's ask it this way. What do you think?
Market with your stock. How is your stock doing?
Fine, thanks.
Well, it went down, but it's coming up again.
It's gone
It went down
down.
after...
It's the same as any other stuff, you know.
It
up and
goes down every time, and the LPs drop out. They all think they're buying bits of record.
At all.
Or a more enthusiastic...
Actually, I said that when we arrived back from Manila. They said, what are you going to do next? And I said, we're going to rest up before we go and get beaten up over there. Merely beaten up is just... really, we just get sort of shoved around a bit. Jostled around in cars and planes, so, you know, that's all it is.
Well, you think that's more an enthusiastic fan?
Is that another of the jokes going on?
I'm sure you've all had...
All girls are fickle.
Well, the photos we saw of them were a sort of middle-aged DJs and 12-year-olds burning a pile of LP covers.
This question is directed to Paul and John.
We'd get in a lot easier.
We wouldn't make it. We couldn't do it.
It depends, you know. Sometimes we could have easily made it much better without the armoured truck. But today, probably we wouldn't.
You think you'd be physically harmed?
Oh, yeah, probably.
What do you think?
Yes, I think so.
I said that to her as well. No comment.
Oh. Come on, John. Tell them what you
I mean, you can read into it what you like, you know. It's just a little old statement. It's not very serious, you know.
Paul, are you getting married? And if so, to who?
No. They're probably getting married, yes. But I mean, I don't know when. I've got no plans and things.
I want to make these the last three questions.
John?
That's a former.
I think he's had a few, but we don't bother with those.
And that's Stephanie, Yolanda and Debbie of the official Beatles fan club in Dallas, and they're presenting initialed stake branding irons which were made specially for each of the Beatles. Would you like to do it facing over that?
Okay. Only you turn around, I think.
I'd like to face the photographers over there, please.
Get up here with us.
Can we have all the photographers come across the...
John, you're more or less the spokesman for the group, even though you don't have an official spokesman.
Well, I'm not really, you know, it's just that it looks like it this time.
You are the oldest, though, aren't you?
No, Ringo's the oldest.
Oh, I didn't know that. I always presumed...
And everything you read in the papers.
You've been called England's greatest export, or one of England's greatest exports. Can you estimate the amount of money that you brought into that country?
I can't at all, you know, but we're just one of the bigger exports, including the record industry, I think. I mean, now, since all the English fab.
Now, all these other groups that have been modeled after your group, that have been touring other parts of the world and have been returning tremendous amounts of revenue into England, has there been any comment as to your value to the economy of that country?
Well, I think the main comment arose when we were given the MBEs, and they didn't sort of clarify exactly why we got them, and everybody was speculating, and that was the real reason, I suppose, you know, for benefits to export.
Now, there were a lot of laughs when you issued stock some years ago, and it sold at 10, I believe, and then how is the stock doing now, and how is the publishing firm doing?
Well, they're both doing fine, you know. The stock came originally about, I don't know, 8 or 9 shillings, and it's been as high as 17, or I think it was 17. It went down again. Now it's up about 10 and a half now. It's, you know, they can carry on laughing.
Well, some of your publications have become classics. The Boston Pops has played many of your songs, and these songs will go down as standards, whereas originally the older people laughed at your music. They are now singing it and humming it themselves.
Yes, it seems like some of them might last, you know, and they could earn money for the firm for as long as the songs go on, I suppose.
Politics.
Yeah.
Because they scrutinize you as closely as they do politicians. Do you think that some people are out to get you when you make a statement such as this?
Oh, sure. I mean, some people have always got it in for us and will always want to sort of hurt us or knock us, you know, and we know that.
Do you think they resent your success?
I can't imagine exactly what they think, you know. It's hard to imagine what they do think. But I can't, you know, there's nothing to say about them, you know. I don't know what to say about them or think about them. He's clicking.
Well, John, we want to wish you all the success in the world. You're a real nice bunch of guys, and best of luck to you. Thank you, fellas. Did you get it?
Yeah, but we were shooting and he was in the front. Doctor, could you first tell us, you've had some personal experience with the Beatles, both overseas and near your neighbor.